And you're very honest in the book in saying that when the trial phase started, you thought, well, I don't need a checklist, I can do without that, but I'll do it anyway, so as not to be a hypocrite. And then you say that, you found that it's helped save lives and it avoided complications in your own operating theatre.
Yeah, I'm at one of Harvard's hospitals, the Brigham Women's, we think of ourselves as the top hospital in the world. Did I need a checklist? I absolutely did not think I did. But I didn't want to be a hypocrite, as you say, imposing this on multiple hospitals and other places without doing it myself. And the realization was I hadn't even had the humility to recognize how many ways in which I routinely fail. I know that sometimes I have the spectacular failures, but when we implemented the checklist, we found that immediately we were catching problems. It's been 2 years now, and I've yet to get through a week of surgery where the checklist did not catch issues in which we could improve the care. An antibiotic that wasn't given, blood that I thought was available, but someone hadn't gotten it set up, or just someone saying, this patient has a certain medical problem, and have we really thought through what we want to do to help prevent it from becoming an issue during their surgery or recovery? There has turned out to be over and over again critical steps, and I describe a case where I'm positive it saved my patient's life. I have managed to get through now a year with no deaths in surgery, and this one would have been a death for sure, and I know it saved him.
And what about, we talk quite a lot about the developed world, but what about the developing world? What sort of results do you see there?
Yeah, so the interesting thing is that when we implemented this kind of work, there were significant improvements in every hospital. Each hospital had a reduction in complications. The striking thing was that the reductions in complications averaged 1/3. They were 30% reductions in the rich hospitals and over 40% reductions in the poorer hospitals. They got more gain out of it, and they had some greater distance to go. In some ways, some of those settings are more hierarchical. The nurses may not feel they have any place speaking up or raising issues if they have questions or concerns. Being able to call a halt at that key moment when there might be a problem before starting the operation. And you could see that cultural change come in. The big difference that we see is that in the wealthier countries, we've been better equipped to spread these ideas. We have better organized societies in some sense. You could take this and bring it to every trust in the United Kingdom. In the United States, even though we're just at 20%, we've started to see some states that have hit 100%. In India, where we saw tremendous improvement from having this in one hospital, we've gotten to about 60 hospitals, but nowhere near the hundreds of hospitals across the country. And now so what we've had to learn is, how do you bring places that don't really have a functioning health system in a national sense, how do you bring them to succeed? And some of it, the leverage points are education, so we're beginning to work at that education level. And then some of it is really the interesting fact of viral spread. It was very important that it was tried at St. Mary's Hospital because it spread from London kind of outward. Similarly in the United States, it was in Seattle, Washington, and it's interesting, that's on the West Coast, and that's been where the fastest uptake has been in the West Coast. Those social networks are very interesting. And similarly in India, it was in Delhi, and the network has spread wider. And so now we're seeding new places in Bombay, in other parts of that area, of that country, also in sub-Saharan Africa.
I was talking to Atul Gawande about the Checklist Manifesto, which shows that the best ideas are often simple ones. The book is available now in hardback.